Yes, Espedia. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I hope your day, your week, and your weekend have been going very well so far. This is Clash of the Titans, the show here on Guy Boston Sports, where I break down every single ranked on ranked matchup throughout the entire college football season, giving deeper insight, analysis, but more importantly, more picks for each of these big time matchups. In today's video, we're breaking down number 6 ranked Oregon going on the road, taking on number 3 ranked Penn State in a massive Big Ten battle that has both big implications for the Big Ten championship as well as for the college football playoff. And as always, guys, I've got some really great picks to go ahead and share with you. But first, as always, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day and a new week of college football comes more opportunities to go ahead and make some money. By the way, guys, this is video number 3 of 4 Clash of the Titans videos coming out this week. I do apologize. I know this video is coming out a little late here on Saturday. Would have liked this to come out earlier, but had a lot of stuff going on this week between videos and other work stuff. So I do apologize. I know it's coming out a little bit later than I expected it to. But hey, better late than never. You still have at least 7 hours before kickoff. We do have 2 videos for Clash of the Titans already out on the channel, as well as our full Week 5 NCAA football slate picks video out. And we have one more Clash of the Titans video releasing in the next hour. So make sure to subscribe, check out all those out. And more importantly, guys, comment down below who you think is winning this big time matchup between Oregon and Penn State. All right, guys, with all that stuff out of the way, we can finally start breaking down this big time game. 7:30 p.m. kickoff tonight. Again, like I mentioned at the top of the video, number 6 ranked Oregon going on the road, taking on number 3 ranked Penn State in Happy Valley. It's the whiteout game for Penn State, one of the best traditions in college football. It's going to be an awesome game. I have 3 picks to share with you guys in today's video. The first of those 3 picks being a spread pick. I'm going with the Oregon Ducks here on the spread, plus 3.5. Jumping over to the outlier screen, I can go ahead and show you guys. I'm taking them minus 100 over on Novig, so basically even odds. However, there are a number of different sports books to go ahead and check this out. It's available on FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars, ESPN Bet, wherever you guys go to place your bets. This line's probably there somewhere. As always, guys, make sure to go ahead and shop around for the best sportsbook odds available. It does mean a lot of difference. It makes a big difference, I should say, when it comes to the amount of money you're making. So always shop around for the best odds. All right, so Oregon plus 3.5 here. Now, surprisingly, this is a pretty unpopular pick. The public seems to be heavily on Penn State in this matchup, which is not something I honestly expected. And the reason for that being, this is not where Penn State typically delivers. James Franklin is notorious for falling short in these big time spots. I'm not talking about against the spread. When we're just looking at straight up wins and losses, James Franklin is 4-20 during his career at Penn State against top 10 ranked schools. It's a pretty large sample size, 24 games against top 10 teams over the last 11 years at Penn State. It's a pretty large sample size, and he has fallen short time and time again. When it comes to non-ranked teams or lower ranked teams, James Franklin usually delivers, but this is the spot where he usually disappoints. And honestly, we have a recent sample size in terms of the individual matchup versus Oregon to go off of. These 2 teams met last year in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon won. Was an exciting game, 45-37. Being totally transparent, I thought Penn State played better than I thought they would in that spot. They had a very close game. They had opportunities to win. But at the end of the day, Oregon took care of business, winning that game by 8. And look, there's a lot of advantages for Penn State in this matchup. They have the home field advantage. Like I mentioned, it's the whiteout game, one of the best traditions in college football. That stadium is going to be rocking. For Oregon, they have a young transfer quarterback in Dante Moore who came over from UCLA. That's not going to be an easy environment to go ahead and play in at Penn State. So you have the home field advantage in the whiteout game. You also have the fact that Penn State's coming off a bye week, so they had an extra week of rest, an extra week to go ahead and prep for this Oregon game. These are all massive advantages for Penn State, as well as the fact that Penn State just has a great team. They have a solid defense. They've got a very experienced quarterback in Drew Allard. It feels like Drew Allard has been at Penn State. He's been the starter at Penn State for like 7 years now. So it's been a really long run here for Penn State. A very experienced team, a very talented team. There's a lot of good things going for this squad. There's a reason they're ranked number 3 in the country. Yet despite all that, if you're giving me Oregon with the points at plus 3.5 with that hook line that's very important is the plus 3.5, you're giving me Oregon with the points, and it's almost even odds if you use Novig. It just feels like a no-brainer to me. I mean, even if Penn State were to win this game, do you really think Penn State's going to win by that much? Oregon's a very good team, and although their schedule has not been the most impressive, they do have at least, a Northwestern win in there. They dominated Oregon State last week. I know those wins aren't that impressive. Those are not great teams, but they're a little bit more battle-tested than Penn State, at least. Penn State so far this year, they played Villanova, they played Nevada, they played Let's see over here, FIU. I mean, they really have not played anybody, and they've killed every team. But this Penn State team, they have experience from previous years, but this year's iteration is not battle-tested in any way. At least Northwestern's a halfway decent program, right? And Oregon dominated them. Oregon State, I don't know if I'd say they're halfway decent, but, I would take Northwestern and Oregon State in terms of strength of schedule over a Villanova and a Nevada, who are some of the worst teams in college football. Great young quarterback in Dante Moore. Dan Lanning, I like him a lot as a head coach. His Oregon defense is strong. They got a pretty strong running game as well. There's a lot to like about Oregon here. And like I said, it's going to be a really tight battle between these two sides. And I would not be the most surprising thing to see Penn State win this game because they are incredibly talented. Penn State should win this game. They have every advantage. But yet, I have a lot of hard time. Drew Allard and James Franklin, that pairing in particular, I've seen them come up short way too many times in these spots to confidently bet on them here. I think Oregon with the points is a very smart play. You're getting great value on that play. Oregon is no pushover team. They're one of the best teams in college football. They have a top 10 scoring offense, a top 10 scoring defense. They're really good in every category. The one area where they're a little on the weaker side is their run defense, but Penn State's rushing offense isn't all that impressive. And honestly, considering where Penn State's numbers are, you'd think they'd be better considering who they play. Drew Allard has not looked perfect despite the weaker competition. A lot of great stuff here. This is the key matchup, is Oregon's rushing offense versus Penn State's rushing defense. Can they slow down Oregon's offense? That's going to be the key in this one. I think this is a coin toss of a game. I think that with the history of Penn State failing in these spots, plus just with the nature of this game, I think plus 3.5 is the best bet you could possibly get. Penn State minus 3.5, way too risky with that hook. I like Oregon here plus 3.5. And for my second pick in today's video, I'm going with Oregon on the money line. Now, I'm not putting a full unit on this play. I'm probably going to put half a unit here on Oregon money line. It's plus 162 over on Novig, best odds available to me. Again, you got a couple different options for going ahead and tailing this play. Oregon plus 3.5 is the smartest play. Oregon money line, I think, is just a good play. I don't know if it's the smartest play, but I think it's a good play. You're getting pretty decent value for the number 6 ranked school in the country, a team that just bested this Penn State squad last year in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon, I have a little more faith in Dan Lanning than I do James Franklin. Drew Allard is a great quarterback, but he has failed again, and I'll keep reiterating this point. He's failed in some of these big-time spots. I think Oregon, despite all the disadvantages, the home field advantage for Penn State, the bye week, all these things, Oregon has a lot of momentum coming into this matchup. They've killed every team they played. They look dominant on both sides of the ball in all of their games. I think that positive momentum coming into this Penn State matchup is huge. Oregon also has played very well on the road. Look at the insight provided by Outlier. The Oregon Ducks are 5-0 in their last 5 road games. Now, when you look at who they played, this dates back to last year, of course. I mean, Michigan's probably the toughest of those games. You also have UCLA, which, not really a huge one there. Wisconsin, I mean, Michigan's the only real big one. And Michigan last year obviously wasn't a great team. But yeah, guys, in a coin toss game where it's coming down to the wire, go with the value in these spots. Like I said, it's not like one team has a massive advantage over the other. They're pretty even in terms of their strengths. Like, they're both very good on both sides of the football. Penn State has those advantages like we talked about. But in this instance where you really have a coin flip type of affair where it's 50-50, honestly, that either side can win. If you're getting plus 162 on Oregon, you might as well just take that. It's the smarter play. You throw half a unit on it. If you win, great. If you don't, it's not a massive loss for your payroll, or your bankroll, I should say. But I think Oregon moneyline is definitely the better value play in this spot. And I do think they can win this game for sure. By the way, guys, we have one pick left in today's video. Before I continue on, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Outlier. Jumping back over to the Outlier screen, Outlier is the best sports betting tool on the market. They've been a sponsor of ours for quite some time now. I use them in every single video here on the channel. They're a fantastic tool, and they truly do make you a smarter sports bettor, but more importantly, a better sports bettor. There's a lot of great stuff with Outlier. I'm only giving you guys a taste here. There's so much more. There's line movements, insights, injury reports. They go deeper into statistics. They go into the public betting information. And there's so many other things. You can go to player props, games, spreads, everything. Everything is on Outlier. It's a great tool. They cover every major sport. And like I said, they give you all the data that you need to make smart sports betting choices. So go ahead, check out Outlier. We have a link down below in the description that gives you guys a 7-day free trial to go ahead and check them out. It's a really great tool, guys. You're not going to be disappointed. After the 7 days, you have to pay, but I'm telling you guys, it'll pay for itself when you start making those smart sports bets. So check out Outlier, and thank you to Outlier for sponsoring today's video and a lot of our videos here on the channel. All right, guys, and our third and final pick in today's video, I'm kind of avoiding player props for this game. My third and final pick here is the total here, and I'm actually going with the under 53.5, which I'm grabbing for minus 110 over on FanDuel, best odds available to me. Now, look, Admittedly, the last time these two teams played back in the Big Ten championship game last year, obviously the over slammed, an 82-point total in that game. A lot of scoring, a lot of high. The difference is that was late in the year. That was the Big Ten championship. Both these teams had their offenses figured out. They had already been battle tested. They had played their big games. They were ready to rock and roll. In this instance, Penn State, they haven't really played anybody, specifically their offense. They haven't really played a strong defense. And for Oregon, you could probably say the same, although Northwestern isn't terrible defensively. I still think we're at that point in the year where these teams haven't played their toughest opponents. They're still figuring some things out offensively, so it's still early in the year. I don't see the offenses firing on all cylinders here. These are two very strong defenses. Again, looking at the right side of the screen here, Oregon only gave them 9.2 points per game. They're top 10 in passing yards allowed, top 40 in rushing yards allowed. And we look at Penn State's defense, the third best scoring defense. Again, strength of competition has to be taken into consideration here. But using the information we do have, they look like very strong defenses. Obviously, there's a lot of talent on both sides of these both sides of the football for both of these teams. So yeah, like I said, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think you're going to see more defense than you did in the Big Ten championship game. I don't think these offenses are humming as much. You had Dylan Gabriel, who was really last year in form with Oregon. You had Drew Allar, who by that point, I mean, Drew Allar should be good in this game considering he's been around for 25 years at Penn State. But I think you're going to see a little bit more of a defensive, gritty, sort of a classic Big Ten battle, although Oregon is a newer Big Ten team. More of a classic Big Ten showdown where defense prevails. Is going to be a lower scoring game. I could see this being like a 27-24 game where obviously in that example, the total would be 51 points. It's going to be close probably, but I don't see either team hitting 30 points in this matchup. Again, these are two very strong defenses. So yeah, I like the under here, 53.5. There's also some EV plus numbers there, which obviously benefits us. And you also have the insights provided by Outlier. The under has hit in 4 of Oregon's last 5 games on the road. So obviously some pretty good numbers there. The Northwestern game, like I mentioned earlier, that game went under, and that's a 52.5. We go back to our line of 53.5. And so far this year, looking at the 2025 numbers, it's cashed in 2 of Oregon's 4 games, the Oregon State game and the Northwestern game. This under hit for Penn State. The under hit in 1 game, which was versus FIU. The Villanova game, the Nevada game, the over cashed. To be fair, though, I don't see Penn State scoring 46 or 52 points in this showdown. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Again, it helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. Make sure to go ahead and comment down below who you think is winning this big-time matchup between Oregon and Penn State. Should be a really good one. One of the better college football games, I think, of the entire year is going to happen tonight. It's one you definitely won't want to miss. And then, guys, again, make sure to check out the other 2 Clash of the Titans videos already out on the channel. We covered LSU Ole Miss, USC Illinois. I know the USC Illinois game is already kicking off as we speak, so if you haven't checked that one out, it might be a little bit too late. But the LSU Ole Miss video still out there, and we still have our Alabama Georgia video yet to come. So again, thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, subscribe. I'll be back next time. Until then, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Saturday. Let's go ahead and make some money, baby. Let's go.